took surnames all over the kingdom, on a freehold of about 30 acres, aided by the smith's business, which had continued in the family till his time, the eldest son being always bred to that business, a custom which he and my father followed as to their eldest sons. When I searched the registers at Ecton, I found an account of their births, marriages, and burials from the year 1555 only, there being no registers kept in that parish at any time preceding. By that register I perceived that I was the youngest son of the youngest son for 5 generations back. My grandfather Thomas, who was born in 1598, lived at Ecton till he grew too old to follow business longer, when he went to live with his son John, a dyer at Banbury in Oxfordshire, with whom my father served an apprenticeship. There my grandfather died and lies buried. We saw his gravestone in 1758. His eldest son Thomas lived in the house at Ecton and left it with the land to his only child, a daughter, who with her husband, one Richard Fisher of Wellingborough, sold it to Mr. Isted, now lord of the manor there. My grandfather had 4 sons that grew up, viz., Thomas, John, Benjamin, and Josiah. I will give you what account I can of them at this distance from my papers, and if these are not lost in my absence, you will among them find many more particulars. Thomas was bred a smith under his father, but being ingenious and encouraged in learning, as all my brothers were, by an Esquire Palmer, then the principal gentleman in that parish, he qualified himself for the business of scrivener, became a considerable man in the county, was a chief mover of all public-spirited undertakings for the county or town of Northampton, and his own village, of which many instances were related of him, and much taken notice of and patronized by the then Lord Halifax. He died in 1702, January the 6th, Old Style, just 4 years to a day before I was born. The account we received of his life and character from some old people at Ecton, I remember, struck you as something extraordinary, from its similarity to what you knew of mine. Had he died on the same day, you said, one might have supposed a transmigration. John was bred a dyer, I believe, of woolens. Benjamin was bred a silk dyer, serving an apprenticeship at London. He was an ingenious man. I remember him well, for when I was a boy he came over to my father in Boston, and lived in the house with us some years. He lived to a great age. His grandson, Samuel Franklin, now lives in Boston. He left behind him 2 quarto volumes, manuscript, of his own poetry, consisting of little occasional pieces addressed to his friends and relations, of which the following, sent to me, is a specimen. Footnote. Franklin probably intended one of the 2 poems that follow to be inserted here. Sent to my name upon a report of his inclination to marital affairs, the 7th of July, 1710. Believe me, Ben, it is a dangerous trade. The sword has many marred as well as made. By it do many fall, not many rise. Makes many poor, few rich, and fewer wise. Fills towns with ruin, fields with blood beside. 'Tis sloth's maintainer, and the shield of pride. Fair cities rich today, in plenty flow. War fills with want, tomorrow, and with woe. Ruined estates, the nurse of vice. Broke limbs and scarts are the effects of desolating wars. Sent to B.F. in N.E., 15th of July, 1710. Be to thy parents an obedient son. Each day let duty constantly be done. Never give way to sloth or lust or pride. If free, you'd be from 1,000 ills beside. Above all ills, be sure avoid the shelf. Man's danger lies in Satan, sin, and self. In virtue, learning, wisdom progress make. Ne'er shrink at suffering for thy Saviour's sake. Fraud and all falsehood in thy dealings flee. Religious always in thy station be. Adore the Maker of thy inward part. Now's the accepted time, give him thy heart. Keep a good conscience, 'tis a constant friend. Like judge and witness, this thy acts attend. In heart with bended knee alone adore, no one but the 3 in one for evermore. He had formed a shorthand of his own, which he taught me, but never practising it, I have now forgot it. I was named after this uncle, there being a particular affection between him and my father. He was very pious, a great attender of sermons of the best preachers, which he took down in his shorthand, and had with him many volumes of them.